Hi everyone, welcome again to Bake Your Way Kitchen. On today's video we are going to be doing a butterscotch oat cookie. This is a chewy, butternutty, a little bit of peanutty cookie, and it's very delicious. It's probably close to my second favorite. There's another cookie recipe. Maybe I'll post it in the near future. It's very easy. And this recipe, of course, is very easy. It's pretty easy. It's a 1-2 step recipe. So what we've got here, I've got 3/4 of a cup of butter, which I'm first going to cream, and this is softened butter. So 3/4 of a cup is about 170 grams of unsalted butter. So we're going to let this cream for a few minutes. Or not even, just a few seconds. Alright, so once you've gotten it nice and creamy, we're going to add in both our sugars. So I've got 3/4 of a cup of brown sugar and 3/4 of a cup of white sugar. And so 3/4 of a cup is about 150 grams of white sugar and about 155 grams of brown sugar. As well, I will add in 2 teaspoons of vanilla extract, as well as a couple teaspoons of a cream. You can do whipping cream, regular cream, you could leave it out. I just find it to add a little bit of milk really helps. So I'm going to give this a quick beating. Just till it comes together. Then we will go ahead and add both our eggs. And part of this egg does not want to come out. Make sure you try to get all of your egg because it really does make a difference. There we go. And I'm also going to add a couple tablespoons of peanut butter. And I just find the taste of peanut butter and butterscotch go well together. You could leave this out if you don't want it. So that's pretty good. Put that aside. So we're going to give this a quick mix and go from here. So here we are, and so this is what your mixture should look like. It will be very wet, but we're going to add our dry ingredients, so no need to panic. So just maybe quickly scrape down the sides. Just make sure you get everything. There we go. Give this a quick little mix. There we go. So what I've got here is a teaspoon of baking soda, about 1/2 teaspoon of cinnamon, and 1 1/4 cups of flour. And I'm just going to whisk this. So the flour, that would be 1 1/4 cups, about 165 grams. So here we go. That's good. So now we are going to add this in. So we've got a few things to add in. So I'm going to add this in 2 stages. So I'm going to put 1/2 or so in right now. When it comes together a little bit, add the rest in. And then as it's coming together, we're going to be adding in 3 cups. That's about 270 grams of rolled oats. I'm using the instant, but you could use the thick, chewy ones. Some people prefer those, and that's great. So I'm going to go ahead and start pouring it in. As well, I'm going to be adding about 11 ounces to 300 grams of butterscotch chips. And there we go. I'll take a few for now. Put that in there. All right, and this is our batter. As you can see, it's very quick and easy. So I'm going to get everything off the beater, clean up, and I'll show you the next step. All right, so we are now ready to bake our cookies. As you can see, our batter's now done. I have lined a sheet of parchment paper. I will need another one. These do make a lot of cookies. I've got a teaspoon and a half measuring. And basically what I'm going to do is scoop the cookies onto the cookie sheet. And what I do after I've scooped them is I flatten them and I add a little, either some crystallized sugar or salt. Today I'll probably go with some salt, and basically it'll make for a sweet and salty flavor. And actually the interesting thing I've read about the sweet and saltiness and why we love it so much is basically when you eat something that is sweet and salty, your mouth or your taste buds apparently it goes through a stage. You get the sweetness and that sends a signal to your brain, but when you get the salt, it kind of neutralizes that feeling, but you get that feeling again. So it's like a cycle of sweetness that you get. And I definitely notice that whenever I have something sweet, I feel like I have that first delicious taste. I feel like I get it twice. It's kind of hard to explain, but basically the sweet and salty, there's a lot of science behind how its effect on the brain and making you taste that sweetness more than once. I'll just put it at that. So I'm going to try to put 4 per row, and I'm just going to keep doing this until I've got them all on here. If you don't have a cookie scoop, just use 2 spoons, or you can even use your hands if you don't care. And so I'm just going to continue doing this. So I finished scooping all of them, and I got a total of 48 or so, and that was with the 1.5 teaspoon cookie scoop. So now what I'm doing is I'm just sprinkling over the top some salt. This is completely optional, and what I do is I just simply press it down a little bit, but I just do it for all of them. Then we're going to put it in a preheated oven, middle rack, for about, I would say, 7 to 10 minutes. And what you're looking for is them to be nice and golden brown and baked to your liking. So some people like theirs really soft, some like theirs more on the golden side, and some don't really have a preference, but basically I like it a nice golden brown color. So I'm just going to finish. So as I mentioned, so you scoop them on or roll them, and then you press them down slightly. You pat them down, and then you can garnish. You can add a topping of raw sugar, or a little more dust of cinnamon, or just a little bit of salt. So I'm going to finish doing this for all of them, put them in the oven, and take them out, put them on a cooling rack, and I'll show you what they look like once they're done.